Hey everybody, it is 6 o'clock on Tuesday, June 2nd. I'm here at Center for Blade Arcs with your favorite, Coach Tyler.
Hello. Good to see you all. In case you were wondering, the club is still okay. Yeah, we haven't thus far been the target of any of the violence that's going on in the city here. So that's nice. We do appreciate that. Okay, so today is the foil workout that we're going to use in conjunction with the Zoom class tomorrow, which is on Wednesday, or if you're watching this tomorrow, then the Zoom class tonight. So we're going to be doing a couple different kinds of attacking actions compared to last week. We've got some favorites returning, and we've got a couple new ones that we're going to test drive today. So let's get started with our cardio. So I'm going to just jog in place because, well, at this point, it's just tradition now for me to do this every day when I sign on. So yeah, how's your day going so far, Coach Alex?
Been pretty good. Was able to enjoy some of the nice weather before it started raining.
Yes, I got the dog out for a walk today. It was very humid and very overcast, but it was nice. I enjoyed taking him out. It's been a little under the weather the last couple days, but not like sick, just a little indigestion or something. But it seems like he's on the mend, so not too worried about it.
All right.
But, yeah. Oh yeah. What have you been doing in your free time?
Oh, all the time I have nowadays. Whatever I can to stay busy.
Yeah, fair
Been
enough.
baking stuff. I made a focaccia over the weekend.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. I've never have I ever baked a loaf of bread.
Oh.
So that's...
It's fun. It's not too difficult either.
Oh, all right.
So what I say is baking bread is easy. Baking certain kinds of bread is very hard.
I can see that.
So yeah, flour, water, yeast, little salt will make some form of edible bread. If you start trying to manage like the finicky characteristics that distinguish a ciabatta from a focaccia from a baguette, then it gets pretty difficult. But you want something edible that tastes good, tastes like bread, yeah, just mix stuff and bake it. You're pretty much set.
Huh. That's super fun. I've always wanted to.
Oh yeah, you should try it.
Huh. That's super cool. I'm glad to hear it. How did it turn out?
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, good. Did you put things, so with the focaccia, do you have like toppings on it? Or things that
This
go
one
in
I
it?
just made plain bread. In the past I put like cloves of garlic in it though, which turned out really well, and I think next time I do it I might do that again.
Yeah. Oh man, my mouth's watering.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, I've baked like cakes and all sort like. Many of you may not know that I used to work as a line cook and prep cook for a while, doing commercial stuff at a couple different restaurants, but never baked bread. It was always non-yeast types of baking activities. Hey, time. All right. So we're gonna do some hamstring stretches. So for this, I'm going to give you kind of two different versions that you can try out. You can do the standard kind of sweep stretch that we like to do, where we have one leg out, one leg bent, we go through. But I want to borrow something that I've been seeing Alex and Coach Anna doing, because this is a good thing to do too. So you're going to cross over one leg in front of the other, and this takes a little more balance to do it this way, but that's a good thing. So you cross one leg over the other, your leg in the back is the one that's straight. That's the one that's going to receive the stretch here. So I just lean down, keeping my lower back as straight as I can. And I can just go down and just hold the position for a little bit. And then come up. And then you can do the same thing on the other side. I'll show it from the front this time. So I cross the other leg, and then I come down. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and if you're having a hard time balancing here, you can do it also with your legs straight, feet flat on the floor. So I lied. I'm actually showing you 3 of them. But it's important when you're doing any sort of bent over stretch to make sure your lower back stays relatively straight. Bending the back is not going to help you stretch your legs so much as just make your lower back sore. So we won't do that. All right, time. I'm going to do some quads next. And again, I'll show you 2 different things that you can try. Whichever one you like the best, that's the one that you should do. But maybe try the other one a bit and give it a fair chance. So we'll do the standard quad stretch, and you know, I say it probably about every time we do this stretch. If for your particular body, this might not work if your legs are a little bit bigger, or if you're just really flexible, you may not be able to really get this stretch to get your quads. But I have perennially tight quads on my leg, so just about any kind of stretch usually does the trick for me. So if you are having that problem where you're not getting a lot of stretch, I'll show you on this side. You can move the leg away from the body, do bow stretch instead of doing standard quad stretch. So grabbing on my foot or my ankle, and I push my leg away from my body. And I'm pushing my hip this way when my leg goes that way. Whew. Come back to this side. And we'll do some bow stretch as well on this side. So I'm going out with this hand, out with that hand, keeping the hip tracking directly over there. So find balance, push out. Okay. And then, yeah, we got a couple more seconds. I'll just hit this side one more time with the more standard stretch, since that seems to be doing okay for me. Oh, time. Okay. Now we're going to do some athletic lunges. So we'll do 2 different versions that you can try. You can do a bent knee version and a straight leg version. So for the bent knee version, I step out, I bring my knee down to the floor, and then I come back up. And you can step into this, you can step backwards into it. It's up to you. Whichever one's more comfortable. You might find that stepping back is more comfortable for you than stepping in. Or you might find stepping in is better. Now, if you want to add a little hip stretch into this, you can. You just have to step a little bit further than you normally would, so that your hips have a little room to move without your knee getting way too far in front of your ankle. It's okay if your knee goes past your ankle a little bit. You just don't want it to go a long, long ways past. Okay, so let's take a look at doing the straight leg version as well. So, same setup. I'm going to do all the things I was just doing, and then I don't bend my knee. I focus on turning my hips to face forwards. And I want to go as deep as I can without my leg having to bend. Once I get past a certain point, my calf is not going to let me go further, and then my heel's going to start popping up off the floor. And that's okay. Depending on what your goals are, you may want that. But for our purposes, we're trying to get a stretch down in that calf complex of muscles. So gastrocnemius, soleus, those muscles. Achilles tendon. All right, sweet. Last thing we're going to do for our stretches is we're going to do some hip circles. So we'll do them going from the inside to the outside, and then we'll do them going from the outside to the inside. So let's start with inside to outside. So I go knee up and around and back down again. You'll notice I'm not putting my foot down on the floor right away. Right? There's like a little quarter-second count. So I go up and around, up, and then I touch down. This helps to ensure that you are stabilizing all the way to the end before you touch down. You may find it tempting to just drop the leg as soon as you're halfway through. That's not helpful. You want to make sure you go all the way around, then put your foot down. So go up, around, then down. And if you caught Sam's live stream anytime, you've probably seen a lot of that like slow balanced stuff that he likes to do, and this is the same idea as that. It's that nice controlled, balanced movement. Okay, let's go outside to inside with our hip circles. So we'll go out and around, same thing, touch down a moment later. So go out, around, and down. Out, around, and down. And if you like, you can give yourself a little helping hand. If there's a part of the stretch where you feel like you're having a hard time getting your knee to go any further up, right here, you just give a little assist on the way through. No one's going to yell at you for getting a little more stretch in. At least I won't. So that can be a way to help get that knee all the way up in there. All right, time. Okay, we're going to do some footwork. We're going to start with advancing and retreating. We're just going to go back and forth, one step at a time. So the goal here, ultimately, is to remain balanced by keeping your head on your shoulders, keeping your shoulders over your hips, and keeping your hips in between your feet. If you have access to a mirror at your house, like a full-length mirror that you might use to check out your outfit before you go, probably not going out a whole lot right now, but if you want to check out your outfit before you leave the house, that kind of mirror. So if you can find a mirror like that in your house to do some footwork in front of, I highly recommend it. There's a good reason why we have those gigantic mirrors over there, so that you can check out what you're doing with your own eyes. And even if you only have half a mirror, like in the bathroom or something, if you have enough room to do this, even if the mirror is right over there, you can watch to see, are my shoulders drifting around? Am I bobbing up and down while I do my steps? Or am I keeping everything smooth and relaxed through the whole movement? You can keep track of that while you're doing your footwork. So maybe not right now, but try and find some time to do that. It's a really helpful way to monitor what you're doing. I know we got some feedback in one of the surveys where people were like, hey, how do I do stuff when, how do I monitor my own fencing? Like, how do I know that I'm doing stuff the right way? And the short answer is, you have to watch yourself do it. So you can use a mirror. You can get somebody to take a video of you doing it and go back and watch it. High-level athletes in all kinds of sports, whether it's an open environment sport like fencing or a closed environment sport like weightlifting where you're just doing one thing and conditions don't change from tournament to tournament. You're not going to show up to a weightlifting competition. They're going to be like, hey, so you're going to have to use this other bar at this tournament that you've never trained with before. That would be an open sport. It's a very closed sport. There's not a lot of variables. But so no matter what kind of sport that you play, watching game footage of yourself and others helps you to keep thinking about fencing all the time and help keep that simmering of, that recipe of information that you've got in your head, keep that going. So, highly recommend doing the video thing. Okay, so we're going to do some lunges and some recovers. So, we're not going to go on too long, but we want to practice getting into the lunge, getting out of the lunge. Cool. Okay, so I set up, feet are in the right place, knees are in the right place, hips are in the right place, shoulders, head, neck, and everything's looking good. Okay. So what I just did there is something I talked about a few weeks ago, which, spoiler alert, I'm about to talk about again, is the idea of a 0th rep, the rep that you do before you actually do the exercise. Which brings me to point number 2 about what you can be doing to train on your own at home. So setting up these kinds of routines where you go through, you do the 0th rep of your exercise meticulously. You set it up. You go every couple times. You go, all right, I'm going to set up my feet. I'm going to set up my knees, hips, shoulders. And if you don't know what you should be doing with those parts of your body, you need to find out. It's okay if you don't feel like you know where everything is supposed to go, but you could probably move things around a little bit and figure out where everything's balanced. This is where that mirror comes in handy. So, in any case, so when I do exercise personally to work on technique, I will do it in sets, just like you would with weightlifting or anything else. I'll set a number of repetitions that I want to do, and at the end of that set, when it's time to take a break, I will then go through my 0 rep routine again. Or if I notice that I'm making a mistake, even in the middle of a set, I might go through that routine again, just to get everything nailed down, so I'm getting the most out of my practice there. Okay, so now we're going to do an advanced lunge, and we're going to do a retreat lunge. So it's the same basic setup as what we have been doing. We're just combining the first thing and the second thing together. So you can do this two different ways. I will show you one way, and then I will show you another way. You can do this if you have very limited space. You're going to do one rep in one direction and one rep in the other direction. So you'll go advance, lunge, recover, and retreat. All right, well, we'll get to the retreat. Then you go retreat, lunge, recover. And then advance, lunge, recover. And retreat, lunge, recover. So that's what you do if you have limited space. If you have a little bit more space, you can do it just like I was talking about as a set. So you do, say, 5. We'll say 5. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to only go to over there. Not a lot of space, but more than some people might have. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and since I'm done, shake my legs out, and I come back down. Now I'm going to do the backwards set. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. And then you can give yourself a quick break and then go back to it. This is a better way to work on your technique, make it crisp. But it's not going to build up tons and tons of endurance because you're taking breaks left and right. So doing sustained stuff is important, but you got to also give time just to make your technique real clean, real solid. And this is the way, doing sets. Okay, so now we're going to do that setup, doing a step and then lunge, followed by a retreat. So we'll do an advanced lunge, then a retreat. And we're going to try and keep it all together. So you're going to go advance, lunge, recover, retreat. So getting into the space where your opponent is, and then getting out of that space, whether you hit or not. Okay, so let's start there. Yeah. All right, so we'll go advance, lunge, recover, retreat. Okay. Da, 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 da. Good. Ba, 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 ba. Notice I'm bringing my arm back when I'm retreating. I'm just kind of leaving it out there during the recovery. I'm not yanking it back right away because you could, I don't know, maybe do a blade action or something if your arm is not busy. But if it's busy, that's more difficult. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Aha. So advance, lunge, recover, retreat. And if you do this well, you won't really gain any ground. You might gain like an inch or two, but for the most part, you're taking what's essentially like a fencing palindrome. You're going it's forwards and backwards the same. So go in, out, out. In, ba, 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 ba. Now, it's worth noting, I'm going slower than you might practice. Just, I want to make sure that people can see what I'm doing, so I'm going to not be going super, super fast in the demonstration. But that doesn't mean that you can't go a little bit faster if you want. But if you go too fast, won't do your cleanest, best work. Or if you're talking the whole time, you probably won't do your cleanest, best work either. Okay, let's keep going. Got a little less than a minute left on this one. And we'll do the grand finale, which if you've checked the feed and you haven't forgotten, you already know what we're getting to. But if not, don't worry. Okay, time. So now we're going to do a set of footwork that is not like the other one. The other one, you go in, you go out, it's all the same. This one is going to go in one particular direction. So you're going to go retreat, lunge, recover, retreat. So you're going to retreat 2 times, one before the lunge, one after the recovery. This is really good for setting up a direct counterattack against your opponent, not necessarily doing like esquive or one of the more specialized versions of the counterattack, just stepping in and hitting when your opponent's too close and they're preparing to do something. They're not there yet. So make sure that you have enough space behind you to do two steps back. If you don't have that space to do 2 regular steps, just do 2 very small steps. They're small. Okay, so let's get going. So we'll do a retreat, lunge, recover, retreat. Same philosophy with the arm. I wait until that second retreat. So I go retreat, I can get my arm started during that first one, lunge, recover, and then retreat. So I get my arm back. I'll turn around. So you can see the other side as well. Go retreat, get the arm going a little bit, lunge, recover, retreat. So retreat, lunge, recover, retreat. Good. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. All right. Looking good. If you want to challenge yourself a little extra, you can try and do the repetitions more continuously without stopping. So you can go step, 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 and then try and get into the next one quickly too. So watch, I'll do 2 in a row. Step, 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 step. Right. So if you have space to do it continuously like that, that's really, really good. Okay, a little bit more. Got about a minute left, and you are free. Good. And if you happen to have a weapon at home when you're practicing these, you can do some hitting actions during your footwork. Sometimes you should just practice the footwork on its own. But if you have a foil laying around, you can practice aiming at different targets and thinking about what that would look like and doing it against someone else. Maybe imagine a particular fencer that you know and that you fenced against, and see if you can fence with them in your mind, and imagine hitting them in different places. You could use me, because, well, you see me all the time, so you can probably just imagine hitting me. But if you have a different person that you're friends with in the class, you can do that too. Okay, so that's our 10 things that I wanted to work on for class tomorrow. So we're going to be doing some more hitting actions like we did last week. We're just going to do a couple different kinds of hitting actions than we did before. And then the week after that, well, we'll tell you next week what we're doing next week. But until we can see you in person, we'll see you out here on the internet. So stay safe, stay hydrated. See y'all next time.